Let's get this thing going.
Hello, America. This is
the fastest 2 hours in radio.
I think we really need like an intellectual revolution.
Now, of course, this is not so much a show as it is a special event.
The Morning Edge with Fox 2's Vic Faust,
We need to have a little talk here.
Chris Knight,
Hang on.
and Eric Johnson.
The more bizarre he gets,
The more people like him.
A complex mechanism that in itself must be operated by an even more complex entity, you.
The Morning Edge starts now.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. It is The Edge. 8:04 is our time. Happy Hump Day. Happy Wednesday, August 10th. Ready to jump in for 2 hours, the fastest 2 hours in morning talk radio. Chris Knight's here. Crystal Cooper and Vic Faust of Fox 2. We've got another big show for you as always. 8:30, we're going to talk with a man named Dan Casey. He is the New Melly Fire Chief. Unfortunately, we're going to visit with him on some sad news in regards to what happened yesterday. It was a big story all over the newsways, all the channels, radio. A 17-year-old boy from St. Charles County fell down a cliff at a Klondike Park and passed away. Now there's allegedly was with his brother. I don't have all those details. But anyway, a 17-year-old falls down a cliff and dies. And just try to get some updates on what happened. Police really didn't have any updates, just that a 17-year-old had passed away. So we'll talk about that coming up at 8:30. And the story that's not going away for Democrats right now, or for the Biden administration, is this whole FBI raid.
Yeah.
And now we're getting details of the raid. Oh, my God. They searched Melania's closet for hours? Really?
She has a lot of underwear in there, man. I mean, why would you go through her closet?
And
sniffing her panties or what?
And
Seriously.
And
I mean,
Biden says he had no idea this was taking place.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Which
well,
was
Biden
interesting.
doesn't know what day it is.
Well, Governor Parson had an incredible quote. He's like, if the Biden administration says that they had no idea about this, it either shows inept government, just how asleep at the wheel they are, or they're lying.
Yeah.
And I was like,
good.
oh.
I mean, neither's good.
I mean, Parson he sounded like Ron DeSantis with his take in regards to the situation.
I would have to think it's number 2.
Yeah. I'm leaning more that direction.
Yeah, I would have to think it's number 2.
Chuck Schumer, we asking, I can't think of her name again. I sent you the sound, Chris, I think.
Was it Maddow?
Yeah, Rachel Maddow. Credit her for asking. It was a legitimate question. And Schumer just shut up, silent on whether he knew or not. He wouldn't talk. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, he felt it was premature to comment.
Yeah.
At that moment, right? Is that what he said?
If he said that, which he did, it shows they all knew. They all knew what was going on.
Yeah, and then Pelosi's comment piled on. Yeah.
It just makes me sick and gives me the heebie-jeebies, especially if nothing comes out of it, because it reeks more of just looking for something. We're just looking for something. But I have a feeling, like Chris said yesterday, I think Trump's always one step ahead.
Yeah, he seems to be pretty on it.
But that would piss me. I mean, I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent. It's dirty. And now Democrats across the country, guess what? Hush, hush, shh. They don't want to, because they all know it's really bad. They're not saying anything. They're not saying anything about the raid.
How about the Republican senator in Pennsylvania? Got a visit by the FBI yesterday.
He got a visit, or they took his phone?
They took his phone. 3 FBI just
Scott.
came up. Yeah.
At the airport, I believe.
Yeah.
He was getting ready to go on a vacation, on a trip. They took his phone. It's, if anybody thinks there is ever, and I mean ever, going to be any kumbaya, oh, well, we just want to work together. We need it. The climate is not of that. And it's not going to be that.
Right.
And it's never, ever going to be that again.
Nope.
And that's not just a flavor of the day sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
It has been headed this way for a long time.
I guess Joe Patterson from the Facebook line has a really good comment. He said Hunter Biden marked himself safe from an FBI raid.
Yeah.
You know how you can mark yourself safe on Facebook?
That is funny.
That's a good one, Joe.
Well, in the meantime, as I was texted yesterday and asked to bring this up on the show, where is the raid on just one of the pedophiles that Ghislaine Maxwell was hiding and setting up with?
Yeah.
Where have the raids been in that entire situation when it comes to all the pedophiles? When it comes to all of those who abused kids and women?
Mm-hmm.
Where has that raid been? Where has that raid been by the Justice Department? How is it that not one trial has taken place outside of Ghislaine Maxwell?
Mm-hmm.
How is it with all of those high-powered connections, not one raid has happened? These are just questions to ask. That's what we do.
It's crazy.
Not one raid. With all of the videos and everything else, I've been asked about Hunter Biden.
Mm-hmm.
When there is evidence of a connection, possible connection to the big guy with our president, Joe Biden. Just asking. These are questions we're asking, trying to get to the bottom of.
Mm-hmm.
Are things fair? Are these, quote, witch hunts?
I mean,
as
it's
they
not
continue?
seeming like it's fair at this point.
It's not adding up.
No, it's not. And it seems like there's one set of rules for a certain group and another set of rules for all the rest of us. And that just fires me up.
Well, the former President Trump is accusing current President Biden of completely knowing about the coordinated attack after the FBI raid Mar-a-Lago. And then go figure, Trump dropped on True Social yesterday, I don't know, about a 4-minute campaign ad. And whether you like him or not, agree with his politics or not, I'm speaking just from the ad itself, the content, the way it's coming out, the timing, the messages. It's powerful. It is absolutely powerful. And maybe the powers that be want to divide America more. Maybe they don't care. Maybe it's win at all costs to try to stop Donald Trump. I don't even know if it's legal just to go into a house and try to look for anything when you know that there's probably nothing there. Allegedly, Donald Trump was having conversations with the DOJ about said, quote, documents that he took with him.
Mm-hmm.
So they were talking back and forth about this.
Right.
But in the meantime, boom, they show up.
Yeah, I've heard like the he said, she said kind of situation where it's like his camp saying that they were fully cooperating. And then you hear the other side saying that, well, if he would have cooperating, then they wouldn't have had to do this.
Fox News reporter Peter Doocy, White House correspondent, did a story yesterday, and he was asking the White House press secretary, is Donald Trump a political opponent? Are you weaponizing the DOJ to go after said political opponents like you would see in third world countries? And they refused to answer. And then, of course, there's the quote, Chris, if you can find it, where President Biden has said in the past, he would be fortunate. I can't say it exact, fortunate to get a chance to go compete against Donald Trump again.
Mm.
Oh, God.
Well, Peter Doocy had it in his piece. Regardless of how people's opinions vary. But it's still another big story nationally. And when does something come out of this? What is this really going to be allowed? Well, many Republicans in Congress said, get your papers ready, Merrick Garland. You're going to be talking to us when we take back the House. Get ready. There's going to be an investigation 1 year long, 2 years long, just like you've done. Republicans are fed up with what's happened. Now, Democrats aren't saying anything. That I can't find Democrats who say they support it. Even Dick Durbin from Illinois, who we have on our news lot, he's like, whoa, I was shocked. He's like, there must be something there for them to go do it. But I mean, Democrats are staying far away from this right now because I think even they know, something smells with this entire situation, meaning it's that bad. I mean, you're talking about some vulnerable House Democrats as well who are being very, very, very quiet. 21 Democrats are running in seats that are considered up for grabs to Republicans in November. None of them spoke about this.
Well, yeah.
But this raid was so warranted, right? Which leads us into the other part of this whole situation. Okay, as Ty Dennis told us yesterday, Tyrone, he's like, all you need to get permission for a warrant for a raid is a judge to sign off, as what Dick Durbin said is credible evidence. Well, comes to find out, as we said yesterday, it doesn't take very much to get a, quote, document signed to go do a raid. Is anybody surprised, or did you see anything about the judge in the case?
Oh, I did.
I think I sent it to you guys.
Yeah.
The judge who, quote, greenlit the raid on Trump's Mar-a-Lago home, Bruce Reinhart, Judge Reinhart, has donated thousands of dollars to the Obama Campaign and Victory Fund.
Wow. That's right.
So, Crystal, what do you think about that?
I think it's, like you said, it's all a little shady, right? It doesn't make sense to me. And I don't like the fact that there are definitely two sets of rules going on here. Because, like I said yesterday with the whole crack thing, like I'd be behind bars. You know what I mean? I don't know why Hunter
if you posted videos of yourself with with crack and horse.
Period. End of story, right? Like,
Krista,
done. Whether I worked with them or not, right? No, I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh.
I just don't like that part. That infuriates me. I don't like when people get treated differently like that, and it's so blatantly obvious.
The story's not going anywhere, people.
No.
That's why we were talking about it. I do agree with Sherry Adams, who says Trump knew they were coming, exposing even more corruption. He just looked like the cat that got the canary again, where he starts talking about, well, you guys are doing this, you're doing that. It just, when my friend texted me and said, where's the investigation? Where are the raids when it comes to exposing elites? And there are a lot of, quote, Democratic elites names associated with Jeffrey Epstein, the actors on the plane list, the island list, yet there's no investigation. And one woman is taking the fall for everything. Yet where's the investigations? Merrick Garland will go down in history as the man who did the raid. So what did they get? What did they find? If they were just going there for, quote, one thing, one, quote, said document. And the other thing about this, Trump's lawyers were not allowed to be in the house or the rooms that were being searched.
Well, see, I'm just not sure if that's against the law or not. Is it? Are you supposed to be able to be present? Like, if I had a warrant served at my house, am I allowed to be in there? I don't know the answer to that, frankly.
I didn't think that you could be.
I mean, obviously not like in there moving things around, but you can't just like follow them and watch.
Yeah. Don't know, Aaron, what the probable cause for the warrant is. Brought up Chuck Schumer when Rachel Maddow of MSNBC asked a legitimate question. And from time to time, she does that. And here's her talking with Chuck Schumer because everybody is saying, every Democrat is saying, we had no idea this was coming. This was all Merrick Garland and the DOJ.
Like everybody else. So I think it's wise for me to withhold comment until we learn more.
I appreciate that. I do have to tell you that one of your
Let's go back.
not colleagues, but another
Are you sure we're
congressional
ready,
leader,
Chris?
the
We're
House
ready.
Republican leader Kevin
Take too
McCarthy.
long, man. There we go.
Circumstances I could not have previously imagined. I need you to get your reaction tonight at the start to this news from South Florida tonight that the FBI has searched the home of the former president.
Yeah, well, I know nothing about it other than what I've read, like everybody else. So I think it's wise for me to withhold comment until we learn more.
I appreciate that. I do have to tell you that one of your not colleagues, but another congressional leader, the House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy, just made a statement online about the FBI executing the search warrant at the former president's home. He said when Republicans take back the House, they will conduct immediate oversight of this department. And then he says this, quote, Attorney General Garland, preserve your documents and clear your calendar, effectively threatening Attorney General Garland in response to the FBI having executed this search warrant tonight. I know that you don't want to talk about the substance of the matter at Mar-a-Lago, but I do want to ask your reaction to what Mr. McCarthy has said.
Look, I think none of us know the facts, and any comments are premature.
Okay, Chuck Schumer wanted no part of that conversation. And I think Rachel Maddow does a really good job at asking questions. I don't always agree with her subject matter, and we're all allowed to do that as broadcasters. She doesn't do, quote, real journalism news like we do. She's a national pundit, just like they have on Fox. But even she tilted her head when he said, I have no idea or any information of what happened. And she kind of tilted her head like a dog that looks at you confused.
Mm-hmm.
She tilted her head like,
because I think she could see his like half grin.
What? Really?
That was a terrible half grin. He finished that sentence and was like, move on to the next. I mean,
really? I didn't see the half grin on his face.
He has a terrible grin on his face after he says that statement.
As he continues and
says,
I have no comment.
Right.
And he doesn't know anything about it.
But he's been in politics for so many years. He's so used to saying those statements. You know what I mean? Like
he
it
was
just
visibly
gets
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He did not. Either he didn't know what the hell was going to happen, or he just was like, okay, I'm going to do my best to lie through this.
Okay.
Yeah, so that story's not going anywhere. Republicans coming, I mean, I'll tell you this, I'll credit the Republicans for this. Whether they like him or not, they had Trump's back yesterday all over the country. All over the country. So I don't know, like I said, what the goal of this is. I just know that it's just causing more division, and we're still not quite sure why. Why and what came out of this and what's going to happen and anything else. And there we are. We're the ones that are left behind trying to figure out, okay, here we go. But President Biden says he would be fortunate. He would be, quote, fortunate to get to run against that guy again. He would so Biden says that he would destroy Trump in an election.
Right. Have we heard again? Is he still testing positive for COVID?
No, he's done.
He's done.
He's out of it. He finally got healthy, so to speak, and back out of it. But hopefully we can work on the inflation. This is a big story that's still going on. Another big headline: inflation numbers released from the government came out again this morning, and two things have continued to drive the inflation, which is up again. I think it was like around 8% again for the month. Guess what they are? I guarantee everybody knows it's food. Mm-hmm. The food prices, which we were told was going to come, and shelter. It was food and shelter are the prices that were up.
Okay.
Everything else all the other inflation prices only went up about 1.5%, but it's food and shelter. We've had several people say, look what's going to happen with the food supply, the food chain. Look at all the fires with a lot of the manufacturing plants. Look what's happening to farmers. Look what's happening to farmland. It's only a matter of time. Americans going to realize and witness what they have never thought could happen here. So that inflation continuing to go up. What that means is you're probably going to see very soon interest rates go up again, maybe 0.75 of a point. They have a meeting in September, so that could happen again in September, and maybe get another one before the end of the year as well. So Dottie Dixon from the Facebook line says, Shot across the bow. Now it is our turn. Yeah, now he's hacking into it, his hand, shaking hands everywhere. So who knows? How do you guys feel about this?
Yeah,
I haven't heard anybody say this is a really, really good thing, except one person on our line yesterday, and that was Drew Collins, who's always he does it on purpose. So,
I mean, I've already seen it affect. We got our big packet for school to start for the kids next week. And in the packet, the prices for lunch went up from last year.
Yeah,
just like a plate lunch. You know what I mean? So,
everything is, I choose to send my kids, my boys, they go to private high schools, which means you have to pay for books. And it's all part of it. If you're going to do that, then you accept responsibility for it. You sacrifice other things in your life to send your kids to a private school. Sticker shock with books. Even school books have gone up immensely, like 30 to 40%.
Wow.
I'm not even going to say how much I had to pay, but it's all part of it, not complaining. But shocking. Even school books. Chris, we were told at some point in time, if there's any way you can find the video of President Biden at Dover Air Force Base yesterday trying to put on his jacket. It says OMG exclamation point.
Oh, no.
Robert Peterbaugh says disgusting. Not sure what he is talking about when it comes to disgusting. Dottie says paper for printing is in short supply. I didn't know that. Maybe that's why the books were so darn expensive.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, hundreds of dollars more expensive than ever before. And I'm like, what? Even my son is like, this doesn't make sense. Why would books be so expensive?
And if you can get lucky, you can find somebody that maybe will sell you their old one. But
yeah, we looked at that too.
they change the curriculum
Guess what?
sometimes. Yeah. So
But people who are selling, guess what? It's not like everybody has the goodness of their heart. They're selling for the same price or
Really?
near the same price as
on
brand
a
new ones.
used?
Bingo. Because they know people need them. Once again, hey, inflation sucks and we can blame whoever we want, but we also know companies and people take advantage of other people too.
Right, I know.
And if you're somebody who's doing that, shame on you. Look in the mirror. I know none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. We've all made some bad decisions. But to try to screw somebody else over, because that's the first thing that my son asked again. He's like, well, the other prices for used books there are other sellers. They're almost exactly the same. It's like, because they know that they're out. So they're going to scorch somebody else because they can.
That sucks.
Dealerships with cars.
Yeah. I'd be like, well, my book has notes in it. You want the book with the notes and pay me the same price as the new book with no notes. But that's like some extra. But just straight up old, used, same thing. Mm-mm.
Hey, by the way, to get a note to everybody, Chris, we're back on FM today, right? Okay, we're back on FM. Just want that was not our issue yesterday. That was it a link issue, Chris? CenturyLink or something? Or
fiber issue.
It was a fiber issue. So we appreciate everybody who joined us in some other capacity yesterday. Went to the grocery store. I stopped at a grocery store on my way back home. I'm checking out. And the woman at the who was checking me out said, I listen to you guys every morning. Out of nowhere, I was like, oh, what's your name? And so she again was like, hi, Vic Faust, you know who I am. And she's like, yeah, but this morning, she's like, I couldn't listen to you on my drive. I was so bummed out. She's like, so I had to settle for Rizzo. I was like, hey, there's worse things in life, I guess. She's like, if you're back on tomorrow, I'll be listening. So if she's listening this morning, thanks for listening. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. Yeah, the Rizzo show is not too bad. Chris, did you find the video?
Yes, this
Joe
is
Biden?
the video of him. So apparently he has a hard time putting his jacket on. And then I don't know if it's in this video, but he drops his aviators too.
Yeah, I think it's
on
in
the
this
tarmac
video as well.
So you keep an eye out for both those things here.
Yeah, you can't put his jacket on. Look at that. Look at his aviators hanging off his chin. Oh, damn. Look, he's like, come here, babe. You got to put this jacket on.
Is that what Tracy does with you?
Yes. Watch, here he goes. Aviators coming off.
Poor Jill. Was she smiling?
Oh, there they went.
What do you mean there they went?
Watch. What a man.
Oh, no.
That's your president of the United States, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, no. No, I'm not trying to
If
make
you're
fun of
watching
him.
on Facebook.
Just know the whole video was funny. I'm laughing because of the jacket. That's happened to everybody, right? That happens to everybody, right?
That's when you're like, oh, damn. It's like when you fall down. You ever trip over a curb, man? The first thing you do when you're on the
Yes,
ground,
'cause
you're
I'm
looking around.
klutz. Yes.
You're looking around, make sure nobody's seen you.
Joe Patterson says, Top Gun, Joe Biden. Tammy says there's video on Facebook that's a split with this video and President Trump and Melania. It's excellent. Maybe
There is. I'll have to try to find
Chuck
it.
Simmons
It's great.
says, wonder why he didn't do any rallies. John Rimstead says, yeah, it's a biatch to put your coat on in the wind anyway. My wife helps me sometimes. John, that's happened to me. I've been out that's why I was joking around with some people because I've been out at some events getting ready to do a live shot and had a jacket or something trying to like.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I didn't have aviators hanging from my nose
Yeah.
and a mask on. And
Dude, it's funny.
And how long was this after he's been approved
Just
to like
look at
go
it.
out and about? Because he's the only one with a mask on too.
oh, Aaron's, yeah, I don't know. Maybe, well, because he just had COVID.
But I'm saying like,
Maybe
what
it's
is
a
the?
signaling that stay away from me.
Did they say how long the protocol is for you to do that after?
I don't know what it
or
is.
he's just being extra cautious.
Oh, Jeannie says, happy birthday, Riz.
Oh,
If it's his birthday.
there you go.
Radio excellence. Not like us. You know, we're just the minor leagues around here, right, Chris?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And Cindy says this is a clip from Delmar Gardens. All right, we're off to a fast start this morning. The fastest 2 hours of Morning Talk Radio. Appreciate you guys joining us. You notice we haven't mentioned yet? The Cardinals getting clobbered last night. But that's
Who?
all right. We got listeners all across the country. The Cardinals? We gave them one,
They
right?
won last night, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we'll give them one after their fun weekend.
Oh, man.
Now they got to
They
take care of
deserve it.
business the next 2
They
days.
deserve it.
7-1 last 8.
What was the score? 16-0?
16 to 6. It was brutal.
Might as well been
They
nothing.
didn't even show up. They got their arses kicked. We'll talk about that. Hey, but at least Miles Michaelis picked up. He set a record last night.
Oh, he did.
Our best pitcher set a record for not being good.
I was going to
He
say.
did something last night that no pitcher in the history of Major League Baseball has ever done. And it's not a good one. So maybe he needs to go find his sage pit again.
Uh-oh.
And
Maybe that sage wore off.
Sage it up.
we'll get into that as well. Plus, we're going to talk with the new Melly Fire Chief when we come back. Try to get some more details about the tragic incident of a 17-year-old dying. St. Charles County kid, just 17-year-old, fell to his death at Klondike Park yesterday. It's just a sad, sad story. We'll get into more of that when we come back, plus continue this Trump story, where it goes, what's happening. The judge that gave the sign-off, well, he's an Obama backer. Thousands of dollars to the campaign fund and the victory fund. And whatever else you want to talk about, if you want to give us a call, you can. The phone number is 636-695-2915. You can also jump in on the web, viperrocks.com. Once again, viperrocks.com. And, of course, Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. Share the show. If you go anywhere, come right back. Cindy says a clip from Delmar Gardens again. Yep, I got you. I got you. Back with more. Chris Knight's here. Krista Cooper. I'm Vic Faust. We'll be right back.
This is the Edge Morning Show.
Live on 100.7.
The Viper.
Things are a bit tight lately. That's why I love Kohl's. I went back to school shopping and got kids' clothes for under $6, sneakers for less than $20, and an extra 20% off already great deals, like 25% off backpacks. And get this, you can save more with a Kohl's card and earn Kohl's Cash. Talk about more style and more savings. Select styles, 20% off ends July 24th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's account for details.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. So good, you gotta try it. With Straight Talk, you can get our Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month. Now with unlimited high-speed data, plus 5 gigabytes hotspot data, and no contract, with nationwide 5G on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot for your data when you can get unlimited for a whole lot less? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
And Doug.
And we're back with Limu, Emu, and Doug for the final question. Category is things you climb.
All right, Limu, what do you think? You sure? We're going with Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Oh, so close. We were looking for stairs.
Huh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
From runny noses to running injuries to x-rays and labs, the BJC Medical Group Convenient Care in Wentzville is ready to help. Located at 1520 Wentzville Parkway, the Convenient Care is open throughout the day with BJC providers on hand to care for all patients 2 and older. With low co-pays and walk-ins welcome, it's your best medicine when you need it. To learn more about the BJC Medical Group Convenient Care in Wentzville, visit bjc.org/Wentzville.
If you want the best, don't settle for the rest. Come to F&S. F&S Collision Repair provides the best customer service, quality of work, paint color match, and paintless dent repair. They do it all. No job too big or too small. Just what your car or truck ordered. F&S Collision. Call today to schedule your appointment and get that car repaired. F&S Collision Repair.
Midnight Auto Supply in St. Peters carries a full line of automotive parts and paints. They're a PPG Platinum distributor of automotive paint and industrial coatings and auto body shop supplies. For over 40 years, your hometown auto parts store is Midnight Auto. Stop in at Midnight Auto Supply in St. Peters, just off Mexico Road, 447-4000, 447-4000, on the web at mid-niteautosupply.com.
IndyCar, WWT Raceway, Saturday, August 20th. The Bommarito Automotive Group 500. Icons, legends, and rising stars. Drama at 200 miles per hour. It's not a reality show. It's real life, real fast. The iconic teams, McLaren, Andretti, Foyt, Rahal, Penske, Ganassi. Legendary drivers, Johnson, Kanaan, Castroneves, Newgarden, IndyCar. Only at WWT Raceway. Brought to you in part by Illinois Office of Tourism and Illinois South Tourism.
Please leave a message at the beep.
Hey, it's fun. Remember me? Miss you, buddy. Look, I know it's been a minute, but we gotta get the fam back down to Holiday World and Splash and Safari. They've got 3 of the top 5 water coasters in the world. Remember getting soaked on Mammoth and Cheetah Chase? Or screaming down monster roller coasters like Thunderbird and Voyage? Tickets are still at holidayworld.com. Oh, the kids want to say something. Go ahead.
Now, back to the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. It is The Edge, the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Eric Johnson here. Chris Knight, Crystal Cooper. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Appreciate everybody coming back. It is August 10th, 8:37 on this Wednesday. Happy hump day. Glad everybody's jumping back in. We've been talking about the Trump raid. Lots to get into there. Inflation continues to go up, 8.5% higher than last year at this time. Taking whatever you want to talk about as well into consideration. Let us know on the Facebook line, 100.7 The Viper. And as always, share the show. We can talk about what you want to. Also, sad news yesterday. We had a 17-year-old boy who died at Klondike Park, allegedly falling about 150 feet. Just while I talk more about that. Who knows more about the situation than we do right now is the New Medley Fire Chief, Dan Casey. Dan, thanks for taking some time this morning. Can you let our listeners and viewers on Facebook know a little bit more about what happened? Because when people start to hear that, people are still trying to process how somebody can be hiking and then fall that far, especially at Klondike Park.
Right. Yeah, it was a real tragic day for us yesterday, and it's in the Augusta Fire Protection District out there at Klondike Park. There's a lot of it's a really beautiful area and attracts a lot of visitors and some hikers and bikers and things like that. And yeah, the two young men were on a little hike, and eventually there are some areas that are, I guess they're fenced off and obviously cordoned off. They're more dangerous places to be, and but they're you're not going to keep everybody away, and it's just a beautiful area. So I can understand younger folks wanting to go out there and take a closer look. And it's just a tragic event. I mean, it was an accident. It's the problem is there's a lot of limestone there, so it's very slippery. It's very unstable sometimes. So I think that's what happened. We were called there in hopes of finding him that he has survived or maybe not fallen all the way down. But it's a very steep cliff, and when we did locate him probably within about 15 minutes or so, or 20 minutes of arriving on the scene. And we did see that he was deceased, unfortunately.
Is there water at the bottom of that cliff?
Well, it's accessed. We accessed it through the Katy Trail. So if you see some of those bluffs along the Katy Trail as you take that ride, we located him he was about 100 yards in from the Katy Trail. In kind of a densely wooded area underneath where that cliff is. And, once our firefighters were able to locate him, and confirm his status, then it was a matter of, going through and getting him out of there. It's a very rough terrain, bunch of boulders and rocks and some heavy brush in that area.
What kind of advice would you give to people in the community? Because I know at Fox 2 we did a story yesterday, and we spoke to a runner who said that she saw just yesterday, talking about on Monday, a bunch of, quote, teenage girls coming down from the trail, which is restricted, wearing just flip-flops on that limestone that you speak of.
Right. It's, the signs are there obviously for a reason, and a lot of it is fenced off. It can be very dangerous, especially if you're not familiar with the area. It doesn't actually, some of the overgrowth and things, you could be walking along and then suddenly there's that drop off. So it's really hard to unless you know the area, it's really hard to estimate, how far away you are from those cliffs. And they do drop off, like we saw yesterday, 150 feet that's a long drop, and you're not going to survive that fall. I would, obviously you want to be prepared. There's several different ways of being prepared, obviously, with the weather and making sure you have plenty hydrated and, proper footwear for sure. Sandstone like that is going to be very loose. That's what that was before. It used to be a place for where they would mine the sand and get the sand out of there and truck that out of there on trains and things, and all the way up until the 1980s. So it's a beautiful area, but it can be dangerous, just like anything else.
We're talking with Dan Casey, the New Melly fire chief. I'm told that, and I don't even know if any of the information is going out, but the boy is a St. Charles County boy, went to a St. Charles County high school as well, and might have been hiking with a relative at the same point in time. I don't know what information is being released. Not trying to get you to release information if it's not out there yet, but I'm sure you guys have had contact with the family.
Right, and one of the most difficult portions of that, we're New Melly's a combination fire department, so we have a lot of volunteers. And then Augusta, whose fire district it was in, they're an entirely volunteer fire department, so they're members of the community that volunteer their time to be there. So a lot of our membership knew this family, and they're familiar with the family. They feel familiar with the boy who was killed, and they know the family very well, and they're a very very close knit family, and they're very well known in the community. So it was very difficult for these firefighters to go in there and get pull a victim out who they knew.
I just have one last question. If anyone else didn't have anything on the show, is there any way to put any more signage or anything of that nature up there to keep people out of restricted areas? I know humans are going to be humans sometimes, and curiosity can get the best of us, but is there a way to stop it?
I think it's well marked. not to go there. I think maybe that's something that the Parks Department can look into and say maybe not allow maybe a better signage or more fencing and things like that. But that might take away from the beauty of the area too. So and then just this is just having the knowledge of this is a dangerous area and these signs are here for a reason. Even the parks officer who was there, was pretty shooken up about it. So obviously, this is something I'm sure the St. Charles County Parks is big on safety, and I'm sure they're probably going to do some investigation and looking into that and see how they can better mark that area or whatever the case may be.
Dan Casey, New Melly Fire Chief, we appreciate you taking some time today to talk about a very sad subject, but we appreciate the informative interview, and hopefully people get an idea of how to move forward and doing so in a more safe way.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and have a great day.
All right. Dan Casey there. Welcome back to The Edge, everybody. Eric Johnson's here, Chris Knight, Krista Cooper, and Vic Faust. It is sad that the names haven't been put out publicly, or the schools. You hear things off the record until those things are brought forward. I mean, it's not like we're going to try to bring those forward, especially if the family's not ready to do something like that.
It's sad. But you know what? You know what? Life is an adventure for some people. Do you guys remember when you were in high school?
Yeah. Did a lot of
Do you
stupid
guys
things.
remember do you remember the old water tower over by Francis Howell High School? 200
Oh, yeah, I've heard
foot
about
tower.
it. Yeah.
Rusty as hell. And
Did you climb that a lot?
All the time. And you know what? That was the most dangerous thing I think I've ever done in my life. But it was there, and it was climbed, and there were kids that got hurt over there at the Aquadome. They would go deep into the ground, and they would explore. So I could see that happening.
No, I mean, seriously, think back for a second. And not to try to compare it with what happened yesterday. They thought they were, trying to be safe. Allegedly, were just sitting there and getting ready to leave. And when they were getting ready to leave, a piece of rock underneath footing gave out. I mean, it's just that simple.
Exactly. It's why people ski out of bounds at Aspen. It's because it's an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
They want to press the envelope a little bit. And I have been over there in Klondike now that I remember it. And it is kind of creepy. It's scary. It's way down.
But it's beautiful.
Awesome. It's
It
awesome.
is beautiful. It's like you stepped into a different world.
Right.
Than driving.
Yeah.
Through.
And that's
St. Charles.
You kind of, I hate to say it, and I wish they wouldn't have died, but you have to admire those people. They kind of are searching for the outskirts of what's out there, man. Kind of explorers.
Chris, do we have any tickets we can give to the best quote I've heard in a long time from the Facebook line? Can we try to find something? Aaron Bland gets the quote of the day. Exploring that nuclear water. That explains Eric.
I think drinking the water at Francis Howell is worse than going down into the Aquadome.
Yeah, I think, you might be right. The dumbest thing I ever did, I got on the hood of a car of a guy when I was in 8th grade with a friend of mine. We laid on the front of the hood.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy thought, this adult with my friend's mom thought it was a good idea in Maryland Heights for us to race down the street as fast as he could, probably a quarter of a mile, with us holding onto the hood.
Hell yeah. Hooky bobbing.
We're laying. So, that must have been a big thing in the 80s.
That's right.
Middle, late 80s.
It has a name. What did you say it was?
Up in Anchorage, Alaska, you would hook your rope onto a car going down Anchorage,
but you'd
Alaska.
be in the back of the car.
No, you'd hook your rope on, and you would just slide behind the car to go to where you wanted to go.
No, I've seen that. We were actually laying. We were laying on the hood with our hands holding on.
Yes.
As he zoomed down the street, I was like, "Dear God, thank you so much for saving my life because we should have been a news story."
Yeah. We didn't know better back then, man. We still made it. It's amazing. We did make it.
Car surfing. As Kimberly says, car surfing. We did it too.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Eric glows in the dark after his experience.
Yeah, I'm part of the PRL Light Show. Light up, Eric.
You are the show.
Yeah. That's sad. That's a sad story. But you know what? Would you rather be walking around in Klondike Park out of bounds or walking around downtown St. Louis? Take your pick.
Oh, dear God. Here we go.
Klondike Park.
Yeah, right? Would you rather have your kids out
Absolutely.
exploring or sitting in front of a television playing games?
I'm not going to cap on St. Louis today. Tomorrow.
You already did.
Tomorrow I will.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
you just did.
Tomorrow I will.
You opened the floodgates.
Just tomorrow.
You're like, yeah, I'm not going to eat a little piece of the cake. Then you eat the whole damn thing.
Cap on St. Louis Thursday.
Danny says, that, folks, is when Vic wanted to become a news anchor. No, actually, I was thinking about becoming a stuntman after that because I was scared.
Yes.
I mean, I was scared hitless, but my friend wanted to do it with his mom and her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Are the days when you would get in the back of the pickup truck, your friend's pickup truck? Remember those days? Remember the days when you could literally
get in the back
do you
and
guys
drive
remember
around?
that?
I do remember.
It was
Eric.
like, who gets to sit on the wheel well?
You're a lot older than me.
Do you remember that? That doesn't happen anymore. We made it. All right.
We did,
I'm
thankfully.
done. Yeah.
But it seems like times have changed.
Yeah. And the guy driving the El Camino, hello, you know who you are, almost killed us all at 90 miles an hour going down Jungerman. Anyway, I just...
I think I was on the hood of an El
You might
Camino.
have been.
I'm not kidding. Driving about 90 miles an hour.
Damn, Vic, you were on a lot of hoods, weren't you?
Yeah.
He thought he was Tawny Katane.
I'd say, here I go again.
Yes, sir.
Getting on another hood.
Yep.
Oh,
Live
my
your
God.
life.
Thanks for jumping in on the edge this morning, guys. And a couple more. Well, did you see it, Eric? Did you happen to see the video as you were coming in?
I did.
Of our president trying to put the jacket on.
Yes.
Well, Chris found another piece of video.
Oh, God.
Do we
show it?
do we have time now in the next 3 minutes?
I think we do.
I don't know where you found this, but you said it was from yesterday. We were told to look up video from the president yesterday at Dover Air Force Base trying to put his jacket on. And I've had problems with the wind and jackets, too. The president had some major issues, and then he dropped his aviators and couldn't find them, and he was just having a rough time. His wife was there to help him, though. Then in the meantime, we were talking about that. Chris found more video from Dover Air Force Base yesterday with, I guess it's Chuck Schumer, who we're going to be showing you, where President Biden is shaking hands, I guess, with imaginary people.
Well, I think he wants to shake Chuck Schumer's hand for a second time.
He wants a second go at the Schumer.
Yeah. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
You know, I will say this. Hold on. So on radio, you don't understand because I was listening to you guys coming in. It doesn't translate. You got to get to the Facebooks. You have to because some of the video that we show on this show.
So you just
it's hilarious. So go to Facebook right now and jump on the Viper.
look at Joe. He still has his hand out there. Watch this video.
Okay. So, you almost got to do some
And
play-by-play.
you're saying this is from yesterday.
Yeah, it's from yesterday. Look, Joe still has his hand out there waiting.
Oh, video.
He wants some more pudding. He's like,
oh, he went
I'll-
to the chin.
Yeah.
Hold on, you got to play that again.
He tries to be like slick and be
Look,
like, oh.
He's still got his hand out there.
and then he licks his hand because he thinks pudding's in it.
No, he touched his chin.
Good old.
Video courtesy of Clay Travis again at Clay Travis.
You guys are
Wow.
good. Whoever's putting that stuff online is awesome. I was looking at Fox News's app yesterday.
Why did he put his hand back out?
Because he's got dementia. I was watching Fox News app yesterday, and I thought I just was reading the stories, and I realized we are watching a soap opera. It's like a cast of characters every day. You don't want your government to be that famous. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I do.
Do you know any of the people out of the Missouri State House right now? No, we know Nick Shore. That's it. But when you look at the federal government, these are a cast of characters in a soap opera on ABC. It's like watching.
Yeah, but Democrats said that about Trump. They said that with his people around him, with Rudy Giuliani. you know.
But we should not
and
know.
shoe polish. He'd sweat, and shoe polish would go down his face. I mean, they would say, "Look at Mitch McConnell. What the
That's
hell
what
is
I'm
that?"
talking about.
But Vic, that was bad. The shoe polish going down his
So, I
face.
mean, it goes
That was
both
bad.
That's what I'm
ways.
talking about, Vic. It's like I was looking at the Fox News app just because I was bored and I was kind of like and I looked at it and it was like every single story was an episode from the federal government. It's like we could call the show "My Dumbass Government." You know what I'm saying? You could have like earlier on My Dumbass Government. And, to be continued on My
You gotta
Dumbass
stop.
Government.
You got to stop with your creative
I don't
ideas.
know. I was thinking, I was like, God.
You've got the best ideas ever.
I can't wait for tomorrow's episode. What's going to happen? Biden's going to shake a ghost hand. Abraham Lincoln's going to show up.
Oh, boy.
No, if we followed him around, I wonder how many times you'd catch him talking to himself.
Who?
Do you know people that do that when they get older? They like talk to themselves all the time out loud.
I do that right now.
Well, you're old. No,
Where do I have to be? Oh my God, I got to be here. I got to make the donuts. I already made the donuts.
I just feel like if they actually watched him more often, we'd have so many more nuggets.
Dude,
right?
we could make
for how much he's on camera.
We could absolutely cut the deficit in half by just selling in-camera footage of Biden. And we could put sponsorship up. This episode of Biden going to the bathroom bought Oracle.
Oh, I thought you were going to say. I thought that was your Delmar Gardens home.
Yeah. Brought to you by Delmar Gardens. For all of your President Biden needs.
Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Kristen Cooper. I'm Big Faust and Fox 2. We've got to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Share the show. You know what we do. Fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Crystal's got your. What are the birthdays looking like today, Crystal? Any teases? Anything good? Bad?
We got quite a famous woman on the list.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Good tease. All right. Under 50, over 50.
Well under 50.
Oh,
hot
okay.
or not.
Vic, and you got the top of the hour news.
Hot.
We got the news coming up as well. We'll also we'll break down more of the Trump raid, some new news coming out with that. Unfortunately, new news. And we'll tell you what Miles Michaelis did last night that no pitcher in the history of Major League Baseball, America's pastime, has ever done before.
What?
Yeah. And it's not good.
Oh, I was just going to say, and hopefully it's good.
Played with a slip-on. No.
Allegedly, there's video of me riding on that hood from 8th grade somewhere.
Is there really?
Just send it to me.
Yes.
All right.
Just send it.
Back with more right after this.
Edge Morning Show. Back in a moment.
KFC knows that when it comes to chicken sandwiches, there's good and there's finger-licking good.
A chicken sandwich? That's good. A 100% white meat KFC chicken sandwich so delicious it forces you to rethink everything you know about sandwiches, including whether or not they even need buns, but then you remember how good a brioche bun can be and then having to rethink your rethinking? That's finger-licking good.
KFC's chicken sandwich, always served hot and crispy, in your choice of classic or spicy. Order now on the KFC app. Kentucky Fried Chicken, that's finger-licking good.
Prices and product availability may vary.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant Cash Offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
This year, Progress West Hospital celebrates 15 years of caring. A member of BJC Healthcare, Progress West Hospital has had the privilege of serving the St. Charles County community since 2007, proudly delivering more than 9,800 babies, treating more than 330,000 emergency patients, and performing more than 36,000 surgeries. Thank you for entrusting Progress West Hospital, your best medicine close to home, for 15 years. To learn more about Progress West Hospital, visit progresswest.org.
Do you want to work for the biggest medical cannabis company in the state of Missouri? Belief Medical is looking for dynamic individuals to join our newest facility in Jonesburg. We are currently hiring for post-harvest technicians and offer 100% company-paid benefits that include medical, dental, and vision, as well as a starting pay of $15 per hour. If you're 21 or older and ready to join a great company that offers great pay and great benefits, visit our website at beliefmedical.com. BELEAF medical.com.
Hey, it's Shanny from Mascot's Bar and Grill, and I'll tell you what, if you're looking for a place to watch the game with friends, Cardinals, Blues, whatever, it's Mascot's Bar and Grill. If you're looking for a place for happy hour, it's Mascot's Bar and Grill. Heck, Grab some friends, get a table, and play rock and roll bingo every night and twice on Saturdays at Mascot's Bar and Grill. You can win some great prizes. Seriously, great prizes at Mascot's for playing rock and roll bingo. And it's absolutely free to play. Wednesday night is ladies' night, and you won't believe the specials they have going on there. Come by for lunch. They're the home of the legendary lunch special. You go tell them you're FOS, you're a friend of Shanny's, and you want that big old burger and fries for just $5, and they're going to give it to you fresh and hot, just the way you ordered it, and it's so delicious, and you don't have to do the dishes. If you go once, you will go again and again. Mascot's Bar and Grill, home of the legendary lunch special.
Hi, my name is Takia, and a little thing that I love about the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is when I take a bite, it's the perfect blend from the bacon to the cheese. It's perfection.
Hey, I'm Katora, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A mac and cheese is it kind of melts in your mouth, so you know it's creamy, cheesy, and delicious. This gooey mac makes me cheese every time.
Order dinner delivered on the Chick-fil-A app today. Delivery fee and other restrictions apply. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Now another hour of The Edge Morning Show on KFNS Troy St. Charles. The Edge Morning Show.
The Midwest premier craft show is coming. A St. Charles tradition. The Festival of the Little Hills. August 19th through the 21st in St. Charles, all along Main Street and in Frontier Park. With more than 300 arts and crafts vendors. Amazing eats, entertainment. Lewis and Clark Keelboat, and a children's area. There's live music on the main stage with Queens Boulevard, Trixie Delight, Platinum Rock Legends, and much more. With free shuttles from 4 locations to the festival ground. Visit festivaloftheLittleHills.com for maps, vendors, and entertainment schedules. That's festivaloftheLittleHills.com.
Viper Weather with legendary chief meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Viper meteorologist Dave Murray. We have a wonderful stretch of weather coming up. For the most part, things are drying out and temperatures and humidity levels going down. Partly to mostly sunny skies on this Wednesday. Now, the humidity is still up a touch early morning, but it's a nice day overall. Beautiful afternoon. 83 for the high. Tonight, clear, cool, comfortable. 62 for the overnight low. We'll take that. Thursday, another front will be coming in. It's a very weak front, not much moisture to work with. Partly sunny skies. We're ahead of the front all day. Maybe a spot thunderstorm, but I think they're going to be really tough to find. But because we're ahead of that front, temperatures should jump a little bit on us, 88 degrees. Then Friday and Saturday, partly sunny, near 80 for the high, low humidity. Sunday, partly sunny and 85. Not bad at all. From the Viper Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray. Now back to the Edge on 100.7, The Viper.
River Electric, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. The Edge Morning Show.
Local headlines now with Fox 2's Vic Faust.
Well, we were just talking about this a little bit ago as we start your headlines. A 17-year-old boy fell to his death yesterday at Klondike Park in the St. Charles County area. Just talked to Dan Casey, New Medley Fire Chief, about some of the incidents. He said the area was restricted. You just got to be careful no matter where you might be hiking, even if you feel you're safe, because some of those areas are very dangerous to be in the first place there. An 18-year-old is now accused of firing a gun at Phelps County, the Phelps County Fair. Continue to follow that story and what's happening. Some good news for people who've gone through massive flooding, especially people in University City. FEMA is going to start inspecting St. Louis area homes soon. President Biden had approved the disaster relief that Governor Parson had asked for, so that money will be coming in. The problem is people need it yesterday. It's just not here yet, but it is on the way. Also, a person of interest is in custody after an I-70 shooting yesterday. It's good news. Police on the scene there very fast. Interesting, we'll talk about this coming up. The suspect who was arrested in the hit and run that killed Matthew Nikolai, the 17-year-old, 17-year-old CBC student, was arrested and charged, but he was released from St. Louis City Jail yesterday. County Prosecutor Kim Gardner sent the case back under advisement. We'll get into that right now. So there are some families that are upset because he's now out of jail. We'll explain what they said and what happens next. It's just not something you see every day that happens. In some better news, Chris, Lake of the Ozarks, according to Getaway, the website Getaway ranks it the number 2 best boating lake in the United States.
I believe that.
Number 2. Number 1, never heard of this place. Shasta Lake in California.
No, never been there. Never heard of it.
Mount Shasta, I believe that's Northern California.
Okay,
Nice.
well, that sounds pretty.
I think I have a friend that lives there, actually.
Shasta. Cardinals lost last night 16-5. Brewers won. Cardinals are 1 game ahead. But Miles Michaelis became the first pitcher ever to give up 10 runs and 14 hits and not even get out of 3 innings. It was brutal. And Brady Cook, the former Chaminade star, is your starting quarterback at the University of Missouri.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's your birthday.
It's the birthday. That's right, I served you cake. I'm Peggy. Pull your leggy. Happy birthday.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Go.
All right, people born on this date, August 10th, have magnetic personalities. They are generous and enthusiastic and tend to be passionate about their work. But in turn, as a negative note, these people tend to be somewhat arrogant, stubborn, and can be attention-seeking. Do you guys have any guesses on who I was saying is a very famous woman, maybe the most followed person on Instagram? She has a birthday today.
Kim Kardashian.
Close. She's her sister.
Chloe.
Khloe Kardashian.
No.
Patricia.
Kylie.
Kylie.
Oh, that's right, the youngest one.
Yep,
She
Kylie
outdid them
Jenner.
all.
She's 25. Socialite and model. She's head of Kylie Cosmetics, creator of a huge popular line of lipsticks called Kylie Lip Kit. Moving on, Antonio Banderas is 62 today, one of the most popular Spanish-American actors of all time. Do you guys have a movie you
Yes.
particularly like him in? Yeah, what?
What was the one? With
Zorro.
The cat.
Oh, yeah, Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots.
Uh-huh.
He was Zorro, too, wasn't he?
Yes, so
I liked him in
Zorro. My dad mentioned Desperado. Puss in Boots started in Shrek, right?
Shrek.
He was just a character in Shrek.
Yes.
And then it actually spun off, and it's been two movies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's done well with that, but that's a great character. Angie Harmon, actress. She's 50 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember her? She
was
started.
married to Jason Sehorn.
There you go.
That's why she became popular. That's
Well, she started in Baywatch, which
I
I didn't
know.
know because I knew her from Law and
True
Order.
story. I
right?
know that.
True story.
The red bathing suit.
Yeah.
But right now, she currently narrates Cellmate Secrets on Lifetime.
Ooh.
So check that out. It should be good.
With special guest Delilah.
Right. Ryan Eggold, he's 38, best known for his role in the NBC drama series The Blacklist. He also portrays Dr. Max Goodwin in the medical drama New Amsterdam. And we have a designer, Betsy Johnson. Are you guys familiar with her?
Nope.
Yes,
Okay,
I've heard
so she's known for being really eccentric. She ends her shows by doing a cartwheel, and she does the splits. Cartwheel into a split. She's 80 years old today.
No, stop it. No one does that.
There's hope for you, Eric, for PRL.
Yeah, that's right.
Some athletes
What's so funny,
today.
Chris?
We have Dalvin Cook. He's an NFL running back. He's 27, all-time leading rusher for Florida State before he was drafted by the Vikings in the second round in 2017. He has 4,820 rushing yards in only 5 seasons.
He's been a very good fantasy player.
I was
my
just gonna say,
God.
I always pick him
You know
for
what,
fantasy.
though? They're going to key on him this year, and he won't have that
They
yardage.
key on him every year.
No, they're going to key on him.
And then an NBA player, Andre Drummond, is 29, 2-time All-Star, 4-time rebounding leader. He was with the Pistons, now with the Cavaliers. And then Herbert Hoover, our 31 president, was born on this day in 1874. So we're wishing the happiest of birthdays to all of our famous friends and anyone else out there with a birthday from your Edge family.
Well, good morning, sunshine.
It's time to wake up now.
Time to wake up.
Today, I don't want to. Why not? Why not?
Today, it's National Lazy Day.
Boy, are you lazy.
Oh, lazy.
You lazy!
You are lazy?
You think I'm lazy?
Yeah, lazy?
People are lazy.
So lazy.
But get up anyway!
Okay, well, let's get it started then.
But you are lazy, right?
Yep. All right, it's show time.
Do bosses subscribe to this today?
What's that?
I will.
Oh, yeah. We got one right in the middle of the room.
Welcome back to the show. It is The Edge, the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Crystal Cooper. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Lazy Day.
Lazy
All right,
day.
there you go. Must be nice. Hey, by the way, Eric, speaking of learning how to do the splits for your PRL shows,
Yes,
we
sir.
had a listener who asked when you're going to be playing the Festival Hills. Do you know
Okay.
what time
It's
or
gonna
day?
be- Get your pencils out and see if I can get this right. I think it's not this Saturday. don't go down there this Saturday. It's the Saturday following, the 20th, and we do the late shift. We're late. Whenever the late band starts.
Okay.
On the big stage.
Nice.
The big band, the big stage. Tying up some other things, Jamie says, yes, it's Northern California, Shasta Lake. It's an awesome lake.
There you go.
Good call there, Crystal. From the Facebook line, people are saying, vote Catherine Penner. She's the author who had a little mini upset over Shema Dogan. She's the, quote, Republican that'll be running for St. Louis County Executive against Sam Page. So that was on people's mind this morning as well. Some people said they'd never heard of her. I had never heard of her either. So
great.
Also, the state of Missouri, 201 years old today.
What?
Yeah.
That's it? Wow, that's strange.
Well, that didn't
man.
show up on my birthday search. No.
The state of Missouri's birthday.
Yeah.
And Aaron says,
Thanks, Joe.
you mean the Festival of the Little Hillbillies, Vic. Aaron, come on.
Come on, man.
Aaron, really?
The Little Hoosiers. No, it's a great. It's fun. It is fun. I will say that. It's St. Charles. It's the entire right in front of the river. Do you ever go over?
Oh yeah, we go
You go
all the
down there?
time. Our friends meet up.
I mean, the
and
beer
families.
tents.
Yeah.
They have beers down there that you can't get anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
They have like 3 or 4. I think there's a couple tents with bands in them, beer tents. It's just it's a rock star party.
Yeah,
Come
it's a
on
good
down.
time.
9:09 on this Wednesday, August 10th is our time. One other headline that we hadn't talked about yet. It's going to the ballot, and I think it's going to pass.
What's
I
that?
don't know how
agree.
What's
close
that?
it's going to be.
What?
But I'm speaking about making marijuana, cannabis
Oh, it's about time.
Legal.
Next story.
Legal.
Next story. Seriously.
in the state of Missouri. So what's happened is you got the Missouri Marijuana Legalization Initiative is going to appear on the November ballot. So the state announced it is going to be put on there.
Yeah.
And it'll
Good.
be interesting.
Bye. Next topic.
Well, there's a part of this too. I mean, let me read this because this will also include expunging people
Good.
and records for having marijuana in the past. I know Chris has brought this up in the past too.
Yeah.
If you look at some of the sentences that have been handed down for people with marijuana, and I'm not taking a side, I'm just giving the information. There are some massive sentences that have been given.
Yeah.
I want to see how that all plays out.
Yeah. Well, isn't
If
that
you're in
that's
jail
more
for
dealing.
marijuana charges?
I mean, I don't think anyone goes to jail for 10 years for a joint in their pocket. It's probably guys that
No,
are
it's-
walking around
yeah, of
bags all
course.
over the place.
Yeah.
You know.
Of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
So if you're the guy, the catalyst selling an illegal substance, it's like, well, if you're out here on the streets, this is a problem. You
Yeah.
got to go. So I get that. Get him out of jail.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, if you've been to Colorado anytime recently, Vic, I'm sure you go to Colorado
No,
every
I've
now
been
and then.
there 3 years ago.
California, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You
I mean-
get it, well, you walk through the airport and you know
Exactly.
where you are.
That's exactly
You're
right.
real quick, you know where you are.
Yeah. I mean, it worked out in those communities. I think they slow rolled these laws to see how it would go. I think they did it right. There's enough people that are, it's like don't tread on me kind of thing.
But it's interesting because we did a news story last night on Fox 2. There was a major drug bust in Godfrey, Illinois yesterday.
Yep.
And while marijuana, cannabis is legal in the state, you're only legally allowed to have at one point in time about an ounce on you.
Correct.
So if it's more than an ounce, technically you're breaking the law.
Right.
That's a lot, though. You should not be walking around with even
Is
a
it?
quarter in your pocket.
An ounce is a lot?
What? I mean,
How would you know?
How long are you going to be out and
You
about
walking around with
for?
quarter bags a lot,
No,
Crystal?
I'm just saying
Yeah.
that I think anybody could be like, that's a lot.
It's a hard life. Right? I mean, think about it. You go to Colorado, Denver. As a matter of fact, this happened to a friend of mine just about a week ago. Didn't happen to him. They decided to, because they are in the land of gummy bears, THC gummy bears, of course.
Of course.
You have to go get them. I mean, you can't do it in St. Louis. They go to get their THC gummy bears, of which they're going to have a party when they get back to St. Louis. That's got to be a very nerve-wracking 20 minutes coming off that plane, knowing that you got gummy bears in your damn bag.
I can't tell you how many people I know utilize gummy bears for
Yeah.
gummies.
It's a
Shouldn't
lot-
say gummy
a lot of
bears,
people don't
but
smoke.
gummies for
Yeah.
a variety
Sure.
of reasons.
Yeah.
Swear by them.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah. And we have a friend on this show that owns a farm that makes the THC, I believe, and the CBD oil and all that stuff. There's some good stuff that comes out of that camp. It really is, man. So I think it's time.
Well,
open up the doors.
If this initiative passes, here are a couple of the points of it. Adults 21 and older could purchase and possess up to 3 ounces of cannabis.
Okay.
3 ounces. Illinois is 1 ounce, which is pretty interesting. They could also grow up to 6 flowering marijuana plants, 6 immature plants, and 6 clones if they obtain a registration card.
Now they're putting limitations on it again. I don't know, man.
The initiative would impose a 6% tax on recreational cannabis sales. So if you go to a store and buy your legal marijuana, 6% tax. I don't think that that's horrible at all. This is the big one. Automatic expungements for people with certain non-violent marijuana offenses on their records. It'd be gone. Expungement. Never happened.
Good. And is Amazon going to let you work there if you test positive for pot?
That's another good question. I have no idea. It doesn't say that. I'm trying to figure that out right now. Regulators
are going to have to figure that out.
Well, regulators would be required to issue at least 144 micro business license through a lottery system. That's cannabis has been big business.
That's unfair.
That's
unfair.
But here, with priority, you're going to talk about unfair. Wait till you hear this. With priority given to low-income applicants first.
Where's Nick Shore when we need him?
And people who have been, quote, disproportionately impacted by drug criminalization.
Nick, if you're listening, call in immediately. We need to talk to you about this. Or Onder or Parsons. Just call the hotline.
Public consumption, driving under the influence of cannabis, and underage marijuana use would be explicitly prohibited.
Agreed.
How are they going to test you for that?
Well, the smell usually gives it away, but who's
I mean, right, but like if you were to get pulled over in a car, is there a test?
If the first word that comes out of their mouth is dude, you're going to jail. Dude.
That's just profiling.
Also, another hit, medical marijuana cards would be valid for 3 years at a time instead of 1, and caregivers would be able to serve double the number of patients.
They're overthinking it. Just open up the doors.
Yeah, right. I understand. They have to put numbers on it, though.
Why?
Right? Because everyone's used to that.
Yeah, it's government. Get out of the way, government. You see what happens when you put parameters on this stuff. Do you really want to be checking for 3 ounces as opposed to 1.5 ounces? And what if you have a Super Bowl party? If you have 20 ounces in the room, are you really I mean, seriously. You know what I mean? It's like...
Well, every person can have 3.
Oh, so you
depending
divide
on how many people there are.
Yeah. So if you have 100 people there, you can have 300 ounces of pot in the room.
Your math is correct.
Well, Mitzi says...
I'm Mensa, too. I'm Mensa.
Mitzi says, it doesn't smell if it's a gummy.
Oh, yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh!
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And those are worse. Let me tell you something.
Why? Because they're sneaky?
Because they are straight THC to your brain. It's not like a nice... I don't smoke pot, first of all, but it's not like from what I understand, a joint, Vic. It's almost like an hallucinogen, isn't it?
Well, no, I would say, from what I understand, is it's more the timing of it. I feel like a lot of people they get messed up on edibles because it takes longer to get into your system.
Oh.
So people take one and they're like, oh, I don't feel anything. And they don't wait long enough. And then they take another one. And so I think a lot of people's experiences with gummies end up just being overuse.
Yeah.
But
I know a lot of people take it when they ski in Colorado and they overdo it for sure.
Well, you might. I mean,
and you're in a higher altitude. Think about that. So you live. Let's say you live on the beach, right? Ocean. You take a vacation to Colorado, and you're way above sea level. Yeah. You're already breathing different. You feel different and everything, and then you throw that in your system.
Yeah.
Well, Don says it's really funny listening to non-potheads talk about pot.
I agree.
I'm sure
I
it is.
totally agree. Like if we were talking polka music, we would know nothing about polka music.
Rob says, wait a second,
so
Eric.
Wait, we're off? Are we off, Don? We're that far off.
Eric, you're in a band and don't smoke weed? Wow, that's unbelievable from Rob.
No, I do lattes.
They're spiked lattes.
Spiked lattes.
Actually, he does the fireball.
The fireballs.
Yeah. What else do we have here? And Gordon, I agree. Even in St. Louis, you don't even have to go over to the Metro East. There's not a parking lot in St. Louis, according to Gordon, that you don't get out of your car and smell ganja.
Correct. That's true. We were at the Blues hockey game and smelled pot. I was like, that doesn't seem right. But
Oh, that was coming from the next.
it was.
It was
I
coming
like,
from the next suite.
Yes, sir.
I bet you that was like a vape pen, right?
I don't know.
I don't know
what.
what, but it was
They
powerful.
I doubt they had fire going on.
It
over
was.
there.
It was noticeable,
Mm-hmm.
and it was taking care of 2 suites.
It sure was.
Cindy says Eric's too old for all that marijuana stuff. I love it.
Seems like the older you get, the more ready you would be
Well,
for
the more
it.
you need it.
Yeah.
And there's big business with older people when it comes to the gummies
Yeah.
because of the benefits for with dealing with whatever kind of chronic pain that somebody may
Right.
have.
Yeah. Who said that?
I
Dottie?
would love to know the demographics on age when it comes to who's going to start going to the stores when it becomes legal. Because I think a lot of older people may have been hesitant because they felt like it put them on a list or, they had to jump through hoops to get it. Or
Can
they
you
just weren't
imagine?
sure.
It'll make it easier.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just wondering what the demographic will be because I think a lot of people think you're going to have your 18 to 30-year-olds going in and that's it. But from what I understand, the chronic pain issue, inflammation issues, things like that this helps a lot.
I need you to put this in your head.
There you go.
I need you to put this in your head. Imagine your mom right now.
Yeah.
Now, imagine her saying these words. I need you to pick up some paper towels and a dime bag from Walmart.
Well, you couldn't get it at Walmart, but I understand.
You know
you're
what I'm saying? No.
If my mom was
Why
in
not?
pain, if my mom was in pain and she used that to help her, 1,000% I'd get it.
It's
for her.
right next to the
It'd be just
Metamucil.
it'd be just like picking up her extra strength, rapid release Tylenol.
Correct.
I mean, honestly, and
Correct.
it's actually better for her.
Yeah. I would
So-
still say this. Parents, keep your kids away from this stuff. I've seen more kids eating more chips and playing more video games on pot than I have anything else. It does kill a part of your brain that should be developing at a certain part of your age.
No, that is because I've shared this before in talking to psychiatrists with family members of mine when it comes to the option of using marijuana instead of pharma drugs for certain issues.
Yeah.
And we've even had one of the best psychiatrists in the world on here, Dr. Greg Mattingly. He's come on the show and talked to us a lot about the effects of COVID. And he even said it on this radio show. He's like, I have nothing against marijuana for some of these uses. He's like, but I do have something against it until a adolescent's brain has been fully developed, which can be as late as 21.
Yeah.
Not even 18, as 21.
But you got
because he says there are too many studies when it comes to marijuana affecting a brain that has not been developed.
Totally
yet.
agree, but it goes to what we were talking about before at Klondike Park. You want as a 15-year-old kid, pot is easily accessible, and it really is a bad thing, is it, for a developing brain? It does kind of, and I know this for a fact, that if you start smoking pot in high school, the same kid is kind of smoking pot at 50 years old, and that same kid has not realized his entire potential. So that is a thing that, but you know what? It's like going and hiking in Klondike Park. You could fall.
I don't know.
It's-
I think you.
I've seen it. I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes. I get it.
Yeah, but I think you'd be surprised at the amount of people who are extremely smart and well educated and own their own businesses, multiple or run a lot of things, and they do that every single day. And maybe it's because of anxiety, maybe it's an ADHD situation,
maybe.
But so I don't think everybody just sits on the couch and is, ugh,
Jason Saunders says, look up the history and what was behind it being put on the Schedule 1 list, even after the advising committee did not recommend that action. Rosalind says medical marijuana is not the same as regular pot.
That's a good point. I would love to know the difference.
Paula says remove anxiety meds, add gummies.
That's a good point,
Cindy
too.
says my dad has horrible back pain. I suggested the gummies for him. And Gordon says, that's it. Biden does gummies. We just thought he was stupid. He's just high.
He just wants to get
Okay,
high.
Gordon.
I love Don. He said, I would never buy Walmart weed.
No!
I'm with you on that one, Don. I don't think that's a good spot to go.
gosh.
Stop giving the president two
Was it
gummies. He only
Kmart?
needs
Was that
one.
a blue light special?
No, that was Target.
Oh, I thought it was Kmart back.
Oh,
in the
you're
day.
right. Kmart. Thank you. I was corrected.
I had a friend that worked at Kmart. You got to get up here. There's a blue light special.
Yeah. The pallet's almost
Blue
gone.
light special. Wow.
Seriously,
Is this Cypress Hill?
It is.
Yes.
So you go to Target for the blue-haired special.
Oh, no, not anymore.
Not anymore?
That's the Walmart you shop at.
Yeah.
Target's where all the... There's a lot... No, Target's
What?
Target's where you spend a lot of money.
Target's the new Macy's.
Yeah.
It might be. Well, better than Macy's.
Come on, man.
Oh,
Don't
man.
go crazy on me.
Hey, okay, when we come back, Eric, you're going to get a little upset.
Oh, great.
When we come back, we're going to talk about why the driver who was arrested for the hit and run and allegedly killing Matthew Nikolai, the 17-year-old CVC student at Ted Drew's, he was brought in, but Kim Gardner's office released him yesterday.
No. I'll bet the family loves that.
Well, we'll talk about all the details of that situation. Plus, we'll continue to talk gummies if you want to. Cypress Hill.
Is that why he's doing this?
Yeah, turn it up.
What's wrong with you? Yeah.
Who performed the song "Insane in the Membrane"?
Cypress
Hill, baby.
Oh my
Come
God.
on, I know that. That's what I want to come back with. Time to take a quick break. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Chris LeCooper, Vic Faust, and Fox 2 back with more of this fun, fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio right after this.
Hi, this is Kate. You're listening to the Eggs Morning Show.
Keep your resolution to quit cigarettes this time. Go to I Quit Vapor, 852 Bryan Road, O'Fallon. I Quit Vapor carries the salt nicotine systems, their latest juice flavors, and all of their pod systems. Let their staff explain why the salt nicotine system is so effective in helping you to quit cigarettes for good. It has a much smoother delivery and allows you to adjust the amount of nicotine intake. I Quit Vapor is still your one-stop shop for everything vapor. Keep your quit cigarette resolution this time. Go to I Quit Vapor, 852 Bryan Road, O'Fallon.
Thanks, everyone, for baking your way here on this toasty morning. Are you all ready to jam? Excellent. Before we get rolling, let's start by hashing out everything bagel we'll be discussing. Profit margins are okay, but they could maybe be butter. Sorry, I don't mean to waffle. Next quarter, it's all or muffin. Did you have a question, sausage patty?
My name's Patricia.
When you can't take your mind off breakfast, it matters where you stay. Delicious breakfast available at our Hilton family of brands. Hilton, for the stay.
My daughter used to be a shining star. I would tell her, there's nothing you can't do. Now, it's like living with a stranger. It happens so fast. Centerpoint Hospital, real help for addiction and hope for a bright future.
If a young person dear to you is facing substance use, the Changing Point at Centerpoint Hospital now offers adolescent treatment solutions with detox, 4-week residential, and outpatient treatment. The Changing Point for Adolescents at Centerpoint Hospital. Hope for a bright future.
All right, where are we going for breakfast?
I kind of want a breakfast quesadilla.
Oh, I didn't know they were doing quesadillas for breakfast these days.
Well, Taco Bell is.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, they have this Bell breakfast box now that comes with this breakfast quesadilla that's super cheesy and a hash brown.
Okay, wish I knew about this earlier.
And it has Cinnabon Delights and a coffee in it.
Why did I not know about this earlier?
Try the new $5 Bell breakfast box, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations during breakfast hours only, 7 to 11 a.m. for a limited time. Contact local store for prices and participation when fair. Tax extra. Drinks exclude freezes.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need. Indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign, and we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
You work from home, and now home can be anywhere you want with an RV from Bill Thomas Camper Sales. RV travel is the ultimate social distancing for your family, and you know what you have with you and where it's been. For 55 years locally, family-owned, Bill Thomas Camper Sales has had the highest quality for every budget, and they have guidelines in place for your safe shopping experience. Travel in comfort and safety with a visit to Bill Thomas Camper Sales in Wentzville. For details, hours, and directions, go to btcamper.com.
Shop in one place, O'Fallon Overhead Doors, for your residential and commercial garage doors and gates. As a locally owned, family-operated business, O'Fallon Overhead Doors provides 5-star service. Their technicians are not paid on commission, so they won't sell you something you don't need. Looking for a new door, a repair, or yearly maintenance? Call O'Fallon Overhead Doors on Continental Drive in Wentzville, 272-2722. Showroom open weekdays 8 till 4:30. Free estimates on new doors. Visit O'FallonOverheadDoors.com.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. It is The Edge, fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Eric Johnson is in the other room with a vape pen. Chris Knight, Crystal Cooper, and Vic Faust of Fox 2.
I need to go get me one.
Yeah, we got you all excited. Should go get your pens.
My vapor. That's what sucks, man, when you're somewhere and you're using a vapor. 'Cause I'm trying to quit smoking, and my vapor runs out. No cigarettes on me.
Or the battery dies.
Yes. Sucks.
I guess I'm not a smoker, but I guess when you put it like that, I can see how that would frustrate the hell out of you.
Yeah, you got to carry like a backup.
A backup vape?
Yes.
Do you know where anybody can get backup vapes?
Yes.
Where can they get backup vapes?
I quit vapor.
I quit vapor?
That's right.
Okay, there you go. Is that a store?
Yeah, it's my store.
Oh, okay. I was trying to lead you up to the water, but I couldn't make you drink until I shoved your head down in the water.
Oh, then I drank.
Then you drank.
Then I drank.
I quit vapor, of
Right.
course. So there you go. Welcome back, guys. It is the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio, 9:29 to the time. We have talked about the Trump raid, all of the things going on there. We have talked about the situation with the 17-year-old who, unfortunately, in a tragic incident, fell to his death at Klondike Park while hiking yesterday. We have also jumped into the marijuana issue, which is going to be on the November ballot. I predict it's going to pass. I think it's going to pass convincingly, but we'll see. And the other topic that we have not talked about yet today, and if you want to jump in on any of these things, you can do so on our Facebook page, 100.7 The Viper. You know what to do. Share the show. You can always join us on our website, viperrocks.com. Heck, we're on YouTube too, The Morning Edge. Okay, here it is. Eric, this happened yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
The suspect who was arrested, who police confirmed with the truck in a hit and run, deadly hit and run that happened at Ted Drew's. He was released. He was arrested. He turned himself in to police, by the way.
Yeah.
So he turned himself in, but he was released from police custody yesterday.
Oh.
This is after he had allegedly killed 17-year-old Matthew Nicolai, the CBC student, who was trying to run across Chippewa.
So right now we're at a felony hit and run. So we'll just
the
leave it there.
25-year-old suspect was released yesterday after 24 hours in police custody. Now, Joe Vollmer, the president of the St. Louis Board of Aldermen, said that the news of the suspect release shocked everyone. He says, quote, "Everyone needs a resolution to this. It's been hard on the entire neighborhood. Definitely a shock to everyone. The Nicolai Merlot families are such great people. They do everything for the neighborhood. They give of themselves constantly."
Okay.
Now, Vollmer's a longtime alderman.
Yes.
So here's what's going on. Police said that they had released surveillance photos of the pickup truck that hit Nicolai, and they were able to connect it because the guy who was in the truck tried to have his truck fixed at an auto shop.
Correct.
No.
So now it's malicious.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Now, police said they took the case to Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner's office.
Oh, boy.
To seek felony charges of leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death and evidence tampering.
Correct.
Prosecutors have not filed charges yet. Instead, they said they are taking the case under advisement.
No.
The Circuit Attorney's office, when asked why they released them, said they had no comment on the matter other than to say, just because we're releasing him right now does not mean there won't be charges, just not at the moment.
Wow. I watched this on your, I don't know if you were anchoring or not, but that's when I saw it, was that you guys had this very laissez-faire. He's been released. They caught him, but he's now been released. Anyway, on to sports. I was like,
I know.
The story was that they released him. It wasn't that they everyone knew he was going to get caught. They saw
saw the
truck.
We were not bad at just you like to blow things out.
Go watch it.
No,
it might not have been you, Vic.
No,
it might not have been you.
No, I didn't read the story.
I don't know who it was. I don't know who wrote the story.
It may have been in a different newscast.
It was, and I saw the truck. I go, oh, they caught the guy over down at Ted Drew's.
Mm-hmm.
I go, cool. St. Louis is coming back. All right. As soon as I turn it on, Channel 2, and I don't want. I'm just paraphrasing. He goes, he's been released. I mean, that's the first. I go, okay, wait a minute. There's got to be an addendum to this that he's been released because he's got an ankle monitor and the family loves him and whatever. There was nothing. They just moved on to the next story. The story is Kim Gardner let the guy go.
But Eric, it wasn't. But here's the problem with what you're saying. They said that doesn't mean charges aren't coming.
Who cares?
Was
he booked? Was he put through the process?
People don't
Did he have
like,
a $500,000 bond?
The thing that surprised me is he turned himself in.
Correct.
So there's a couple issues at play.
He was feeling the heat.
After
he went to a body
guilty,
shop.
I know. After
he
feeling
went to a
guilty,
body shop.
Drew says that happens with accidents all the time.
He went to a body shop.
Yes. Now here's when
accidents
you do things.
Are fine.
When you do, I know. When you do things, I'm trying to give the other side. I don't see another side, but I'm trying.
There's no other side.
When you
Chris
go
Renier
through,
should have had a 5-minute expose on Kim Gardner.
There's a procedural way to doing things, and police understand what I'm talking about here.
All right, I'm going to try to shake it off. Give me a gummy. Go.
All the T's need to be crossed. The I's need to be dotted. Number one. All I can think is maybe something wasn't done procedurally correctly, and the circuit attorney's office is not going to do it.
Hey, there's the guy. He's walking in the door right now. We'll go get him.
Also, maybe we already know that the circuit attorney will not accept cases from certain police officers. And there's a variety of history, but Kim Gardner talked about that on the show. So with that being said, I'm starting to wonder, I was like, did certain police officers have this case and they're the ones who put it through? So maybe somebody else needs to put it through? So we're left speculating until we hear exactly. But I believe charges are coming because they said that doesn't mean that they aren't coming. And clearly, the circuit attorneys
that they are coming.
Exactly.
I promise you, the circuit attorney's office is going to file charges.
How can you promise that?
I promise all of my kids they're coming. But what it makes me wonder is why do we have to jump through these hoops? What is going on that they release somebody back into public after they've pretty much admitted by turning themselves in? So this is the next story. Yeah. Charges are going to come, mark my words. But why aren't they coming yet?
The story is this. Back before the portal opened up and the world became a crazy place, back in the day, you used to find the hit and run guy that was trying to put the putty on the bumper.
I know, but there's police.
Back in the day,
police have a hard job. They have to do so many things.
No, this is an easy one. This is a layup. This is Shaq under the basket putting the ball in.
It seems that way.
No, it is. He walked into the place. He goes, "Thank you for turning yourself in, sir. You are now being arrested for felony, this, that, and the other. Here's the video evidence. Here's the two detectives that will talk to you about it. I'm afraid that we're gonna have to give you a bond of maybe $100,000. You'll bond out at $10,000. Fine. If that happened, we would all be in this room going, okay, at least he has a bond. At least he knows that he's in the system. No. Kim Gardner went through the rigmarole again of just saying, yeah, let him out. We'll get him later.
Well, did they suspend his license? Or is he out driving around?
I thought it was suspended already. Wasn't it something like that?
No. His problem was, number one, he left the scene of the accident, and two, he tampered with evidence.
Yeah.
Right, but I mean, shouldn't that take your license away if you kill somebody?
This is the
with
story.
A vehicle?
This is the story. Kim Gardner's office is the story, people. Let's not lose fact of that.
I was just wondering about that because I thought that might be. I mean, if you're caught drinking and driving, even if you don't kill somebody, they'll take your license.
Yes,
I don't know about
why,
that.
if you kill somebody normal, they don't take it.
According to Chris, they will. According to Chris,
but we don't know if he's still allowed to drive around.
That's what I'm asking. did they take it? Because that would have been a good detail to the story that you're saying,
he
right?
was driving around because he took his car to an auto body shop.
Yeah, exactly.
No, meaning after he's been
Afterwards.
released, Chris.
Right.
Yesterday,
No, that
'cause
car
he was released
That
yesterday.
car has to be in a pound somewhere. You would think.
Well, yeah,
right?
for evidence.
Impounded, right?
It's evidence.
But what if she gave him the truck back? Here's your keys. Just come back in 6 months, and we'll see if there's like some kind of reduced sentence we can give you.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Man, if I was Channel 2, the story would be that family without justice, right? Number one. Number two would be Kim Gardner doing it again to St. Louis, Missouri. That's the story. The
other part of this, though, is he was also hit by a second car, and that adds.
But if
to
he
the
would have stopped, he wouldn't have been. Bam! He hits him. He might be alive at that point. If he stops, the other car probably stops as well. Correct?
Or the other car hits him, and there's an issue
at least
there.
the second car.
It's so hard to talk about the hypothetical in that kind of a
The
situation.
second car stopped though.
After hitting.
Yes, it's the first car that took off.
A lot of this could have been avoided maybe if he would have just stopped.
Yep.
Well, the horrible part in all of this is the 17-year-old Matthew Nikolai lost his life. He is the second person this year to lose their life on Chippewa in front of Ted Drews. A
That's
73-year-old
dangerous over
man.
there. It's dangerous.
They're changing that now. They're going to make a pathway over so that you have to stop.
Good. It's about time.
That's going to happen. It's unfortunate there's been loss of life, 2 in the same year. And now you've got a, quote, procedural situation going on. Now here's the thing. Charges are going to be coming. However, you've got a guy who is out. I'm sure there's some sort of monitoring device. There has to be, right?
Oh, man. Yes. Now, was there?
But
I don't
this
know.
guy, because he left the scene and allegedly tampered with evidence, now you got a situation if something happens while he's out.
So from the Facebook line, who wrote this? Was it Jay? Yeah, Missouri needs to DeSantis Gardner. I just verbatim read that. I think that Parsons needs to come in and go, enough, dude. You've killed it.
But we don't.
killed it.
What has she done wrong here?
Making St. Louis, Missouri, the most unsafe.
I
part
guarantee
of the country.
I guarantee she's following the book, even though we hate it. Nobody wants to see a man who, quote, turned himself in for the death of a 17-year-old boy after leaving the scene and tampering with evidence go free. But it has to be something procedural. It has to.
Well,
be.
let's get to the bottom of it because I don't want to be pissed off anymore.
Well, we don't know until we find everything out.
John Parker from the Facebook line said there is no monitored. And then we also had somebody, I can't find it
because
now.
he has not been charged. I'm reading that
Right.
too.
John,
But
John
wouldn't
must be
take
pissed.
his license till after being found guilty. So
Yeah, John must be upset about this. I'm serious. Because that is not cool at all. You know what? It's one thing for us to kind of talk in the abstract about crime in St. Louis. This is a case, Vic, that
He's not upset. I just found another post of his.
Oh, great. This is a case that we can quantify every step of the process. This is St. Louis City. This is a hit-and-run felony. This is malicious intent to cover up your tracks. This is a guy that literally walked into the front door of a police station, and they let him go.
John said, if and when he is charged, it will be for leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death and evidence tampering. There is a procedural way. Exactly, Vic. The young man was also run over by another car. Charges are coming. Vic, you are correct.
John says he is pissed, though, Eric. He just knows that there's procedures.
If I was John, I would be over St. Louis. I'd be like, we got to fix this place.
There's a procedural, and there's a procedure to all of this. And so you see the headline that this guy's walking free, and you're like, what the?
Yes, sir.
How is this even possible?
Because you're tethered to that charge when you go and turn yourself in. He's not tethered to anything right now, correct? The family has no justice at this point. Would you agree with that?
It adds.
Would
what
you
it
agree
does,
with that?
no.
Ted Drews doesn't have any justice
It
right now.
adds to the hurt right now. No doubt about it. No doubt.
I mean, at least this family sounds like they might not do this, but they would have the bearings for a civil suit, right? For all the coverings of everything that's happened, because there's a funeral to pay for. There's a lot of things that this family has taken on. There might be some therapy that needs to happen from now on.
I have to agree with Eric on this one because there should be charges filed on this individual. He's not a person of interest.
He's the guy on
He's
the
guy.
tape.
So why?
He even admitted it.
Yeah, it goes back to what Eric originally said. How is this guy out walking around on no bond? Well, I'll tell you how. Because Kim Gardner's office
Yes, there you go.
did not press charges.
They have not done
There's
it
no
yet.
charges.
Preach.
He's a person of interest.
Yes.
How the hell are you going to keep somebody in jail on a person of interest?
Which is why I want to see what the exact procedural situation that's going on. But they won't tell us right now. I think unless it would affect the case, it would be great if the circuit attorney's office could let the media know why.
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't and weren't told why.
I think that's
unless it's something that's going to affect the case, because this guy, charges are going to come and he's going to do serious time.
So when you say
I don't
you
think
walk in and you say I did it, I'm
Correct.
guilty.
Yeah.
There's still a period of time where you're not charged.
No, if you admit to guilt, you should be charged.
Yeah.
That's where I'm
That's
confused.
why-
Why
But it's-
is there any step in between?
Yeah,
It
we
should be
don't know.
written right there. You should have to sign it because you
Yeah.
just admitted it.
Well, yeah, and you're on camera in there. So
I
that,
think
So
they
it
have
should
to
have been
figure
charged
out.
right there.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think you have to figure out exactly what the charge is.
Yeah.
And then you put together the second car situation. What has he, quote, admitted to when he turned himself in? We don't know any of that information yet.
Let's get to the bottom
And
line.
then you go to the bottom because there is a case and there is a court situation that has to take place.
Here's
as
the
well.
bottom line, people. Seriously, Vic, and I love the fact that you can spin this, and you're really good at your job.
I'm
actually.
not spinning
No, I know-
anything.
You're spinning it from the middle. You're the pendulum.
No,
on
I'm
which all
telling you
this,
there's a procedural way because
I
I cover
understand.
the news and I see a lot of things that I don't like personally.
I understand.
But I have no control
Do you
over the
think
matter.
if that was McCloskey
The
that
law
accidentally
is-
shot someone over by Ted Drews, McCloskey wouldn't be in a jail cell at the bottom of St. Louis City? He would, because she's political on what she does.
Well, that's not an apples to apples comparison.
It's not, but you know what I'm saying. This is some bizarro ideological prosecutor that says we're not locking anybody up. It's party time in St. Louis. That's the bottom
Yeah,
line.
I'm just saying, as
That's
Amy
the
says,
bottom
even
line.
if you admit it, there's an investigation always.
Yeah,
Police
but
have
what,
to-
what
police have
comes
to
of the
investigate.
investigation? You
I
see what I'm
think
saying?
I think we know where this is going. It's just right now we don't have the final answers you would like to have.
Okay.
Because we're uneducated, and when we
You're
don't
right.
understand things, we tend to get more negative.
I
about
think
it.
that there needs to be a law change. Here's the cop out for every single law enforcement agency out there, including the FBI, by the way, in Mar-a-Lago. Here's the cop out. When the press goes to a public interest story, this is a public interest story, Vic.
No doubt.
That the new law should be, you can actually answer this question. It's not like commenting on a ongoing investigation. No, this is why did you let the guy out? We need to know the answer to that question because, like Vic Faust said, there's a procedure. It looks like you didn't line up your procedure very well. The guy literally turned himself in. You didn't charge him, and there's no bond. Can you explain why that is, Miss Garner? No, I can't because it's an ongoing investigation. Nope. See, there's a new law from the state of Missouri. You can actually answer that question now. When there is something that is of public interest, you should have to answer those questions now. I believe. That's just it's very frustrating to this family, I'm sure, to probably not get answers.
No, but I think it's the right thing to keep it in the news, too, because she has a terrible record. You cannot deny that Kim Gardner's office has a horrendous record.
Right.
I think that's very fair to say. She's let cases go out the door. Blamed it on one of her other assistant prosecuting attorneys that they didn't do their job and let people that committed high crimes, murder, out of jail.
Kim Gardner's never blamed one of her own people.
Yeah, she did.
No, not
She
one of
did.
her own. The other thing is,
She did,
well, let me
Vic.
ask you this, Chris.
That was in the news. I think.
Do you honestly believe that charges aren't coming against this guy?
I think they'll be very weak.
But you do think charges are
Yeah,
coming?
I think it's going to be leaving the scene of an accident. It's not going to have anything to do with a fatality
Well, no.
or any type
well,
of.
we don't know. Well, here's the thing: there'll be at least 2 charges. At least.
What?
There's proof that he tried to get his car fixed, tampering with evidence.
Okay.
And 2, leaving the scene.
Right.
Those are the 2 main charges.
Okay.
Now, as Eric said, if he wouldn't have left the scene, in his
Yes.
opinion, there wouldn't have been maybe a quote, and there may
It was an
not be a
accident.
murder charge.
It could have been an accident.
Well, it
or
wouldn't be murder.
reckless
It would be manslaughter.
manslaughter.
Yeah.
And,
And
then and then you have the second car involved as well. So there's a lot to get through.
Correct.
You've got to get through an autopsy, and they've got to continue the investigation. They had to find the guy first, so they just found him.
Vic, they should have held him longer than
I
2
wish too.
days.
I wish too as well.
2 days. Come on.
I wish too well.
Yeah.
But things that have happened in the past with Kim Gardner, it may make people think, oh, no, this is going to happen. But it has nothing to do with this specific
It's
case.
because of her track record. What I said just
Yeah,
a
this
few
is
minutes
this
ago.
is one of 1,000, Vic. And this
Right.
is the
I mean,
thing.
she's let people out of freaking jail that were in there for murder. And
Well-
said there was a what was it, Eric? That
Well, clearly this
there was
was
a
an
paperwork
accident.
error in her office.
I know, but clearly this was an accident.
It just she leaves doubt in people's mind.
This is she's a
But
she's
she
the
may
big she's
to
the,
some people. But once again, she already said that does not mean charges aren't coming.
Yeah.
We can't talk about anything else
I
further.
understand that.
You know,
And if you're not going to charge somebody, you cannot hold them.
Yeah.
That's the point. There's no charges.
And I know it was an accident, but there were many decisions made after the accident that were not accidents. So I think that that's where it kind of steps up a level there.
There should have been charges. He
What
admitted to leaving the scene of an accident,
We-
regardless if there's a manslaughter.
Well, he turned
charge
himself
there.
in, but
I
we
understand
don't
that.
know what he's admitted to yet.
But there is 0 charges right now. 0.
Correct.
Not that he was in a motor vehicle accident. Not that he left the scene of a motor vehicle accident. Not that he tampering with evidence. Not to even mention a manslaughter charge. We're not even talking about that charge.
Or
There's 0 charges, and he's admitted to being involved in this accident.
and
There
because
should have
he
been
left,
charges.
you can't tell whether he was under the influence or not either. And I'm not saying he is guilty of that, but he left the scene and there was enough time in between that they could not run a blood test to see if he was under the influence.
Amy says he will still have to stand a fair trial. It was an accident!
Right.
Exclamation point. There's an assumption that he's innocent until proven guilty, even when you admit guilt. Leaving the scene, it's vehicular manslaughter.
Right.
I'm not even
But that doesn't mean you still don't get charged,
Correct.
Vic. You're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, but you still have to be charged to go to court to prove your innocence. He's not been charged
Correct.
anything.
Yeah, and that's the whole point.
Yeah. I think the story is Kim Gardner. I really do. I think that in a before we
So
went,
if word comes out, Eric, that she had to follow a procedure that any other
What procedure?
Let me finish. If she had to follow a certain, we don't always agree with how law works in the procedures, but if we find out, if and when we find out why, whether you agree with it or not, but it's the letter of the law, are you going to give Kim Gardner credit for doing her job?
I will apologize
If we find out,
I will
that's why I said
will apologize to you and
we
and
need to. No,
John
it's
Parker.
not to me. I don't have any stake in this. I'm just trying to figure out. Let's see what and why this is, and then if there's a way to change, like you said earlier, the law, then change it.
I think they have a strategy of we're talking that we're doing something about it. They have a strategy of things just kind of being forgotten about.
Yeah.
You know when
okay.
when you put your socks in a bucket and then you put it under the stairs, you're like, I'll remember to get those later. And then 5 years later you go, oh my God, there's a pair of socks under the damn stairs. I think that's what a lot of these situations are like. They're very raw and they're very pressing right now. And then Kim Gardner will say, hey, it's under procedure. It's under procedure. We didn't charge him, but trust us, we will. Then boom.
They're going to explain this. There is no doubt in my mind. They're going once the time is right.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating for a lot of people. You see this, and on the surface, it's like it's that headline, but then you got to read all the details behind the headline to know the story.
I find it a visceral story. First, because Fox 2, or probably all the stations, they didn't cover the real story.
They were all on it.
I know. They didn't cover the real story to me, and I threw my football at the television as hard as I could, but not because of the story itself, because it's another example of St. Louis City going down the drain. And that's all I'm saying.
By following procedure?
You're
I am
not following, procedure.
We don't.
It really has nothing to do with procedure.
You don't know that yet, Chris, and neither do I.
Why doesn't it? He went and admitted he was involved
As
in a motor
Gordon,
vehicle accident.
but as Gordon says, you can walk into a police station and admit to a crime, but without proper evidence, they can't charge you with anything.
He is the evidence.
He is. They
Part
have
of it,
video.
but there's
my
a procedure. No,
God!
there's a
I
procedure.
did it. There's the truck. Oh, yeah, I was
There's
putting
a
putty on the
procedure.
quarter panel.
Charges are coming, number one.
Well,
number two,
seriously,
they're going
get
to
the judge
explain
and,
it all.
Get
They
the judge
will.
and sentence me. I don't want to go through this. That's basically what he did.
You've got a procedure. If we don't like the procedure, then you've got to change the
It's
procedure.
like, has anyone got a silver platter? I need to put myself on it.
Well,
seriously, really? You know what I'm saying?
We got to get to break.
Crystal's disgusted with this discussion today. Jesus.
Eric
Because
Johnson,
I
Chris
think it's
Knight.
a combination of both. I think
Crystal
that the
Cooper.
procedure could be updated and changed, and I do think that there are people who lack in doing their job correctly.
Life can be a
Right
lot
there,
of
right
gray.
there.
And I'm Vic Faust. Got to take a quick break. Back with more right after this.
I love these guys. They make funny with their mouths.
The Edge Morning Show.
This is a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup sound experiment. We're looking to find the perfect way to hear Reese's so you'll buy more of them. Here we go. Reese's.
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 Reese's. Hey, get out of here, you little stinker.
Reese's.
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 Peanut Butter Cups.
That breathy one sounded very creepy, am I right?
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-624-7544. 800-624-7544. 800-624-7544.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, it's Julie again with Ben's Moving and Storage in Wentzville, Missouri, located at the intersection of Wilmer Road and Interstate Drive. We offer on-site security and 24/7 access. We are proud to have served as your one-stop shop for all your moving and storage needs since 1984. Right now, we are offering $25 off moving or a free month storage for new customers. For more information, visit us at bensmovingandstorage.com, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook for future storage sales. Ben's Moving and Storage in Wentzville.
Do you want the best for your car? Then fill up with premium at Circle K. Circle K Premium is our best fuel with double the cleaning detergent, protecting your engine from corrosion and damage so it can work at its best. And that, my friend, increases your mileage for more cha-ching in your pocket. Plus, when you fill up with premium at Circle K, you can save up to 20 cents per gallon. Offer valid Thursdays or Fridays at participating stores. For details, visit CircleK.com. Circle K. How convenient.
Get a grip on your finances with People's Bank and Trust's new mobile banking service. You can now manage your accounts, check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills with ease and all from the palm of your hand. Activate your phone today by visiting us online at www.pbtc.net. People's Bank and Trust. Hometown banking the way it should be. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code FALL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code FALL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FALL.
Jay's RV in Warrenton does factory and extended warranty repairs on all models and is the only mobile RV repair company in the area. Now is the time to get your RV checked out at Jay's RV in Warrenton for service or bodywork on any brand. Jay's RV will get you ready for a problem-free season. Sales and service the way it should be. Jay's RV. Online at jaysrvrepair.com. That's jaysrvrepair.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Now, back to the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We appreciate you joining us today for the fastest 2 hours of Morning Talk Radio. Special thanks again to Dan Casey from the New Valley Fire Chief talking about the situation that happened out of Klondike Park. Eric Johnson, you feel better now as we get out of here?
No.
I'm kind of regretting that you told everybody about Dalvin Cook because now I have a feeling I'm not going to get him in my fantasy draft.
Trust me, everybody that knows anything about fantasy football knows that Dalvin Cook is a legit point scorer.
I think like almost every week last year, someone was trying to trade him.
Not this year.
Trade things for him.
Not this year. They're going to put 2 linebackers on him and a safety.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me.
Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Crystal Cooper, a big Faust to Fox 2. We'll see you tonight. We're some pink tonight on Fox 2 News at 5 and 9.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great day. We'll talk to everybody tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock.
Bye.